Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Charles. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, where we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And boy, oh boy, we have an interesting episode for you guys here today. We're going to be talking about the NFL. So make sure you go ahead and like the video and subscribe to the channel. Now, I know a lot of you guys are sitting back, like getting your popcorn, like, man, this guy's going to be talking about the NFL. I said, why not? Why not? Why not try something different? It's a little bit out of our comfort zone, but hey, the more you do something, ultimately, the better you get. So let me just get into it here. So as y'all know, yesterday was a big night in the sports world, in particular, the NFL, because yesterday was opening night for the NFL. And, the game is back. America's number one sport is the number one sport, in the United States. And you could tell that there was a lot of buzzing, a lot of, fanfare. And there was a buzz about the NFL being back. All the major sports shows like FS1, First Things First, ESPN First Take, they were all doing their preseason predictions, and that's something that we're going to do on our channel once the NBA season gets close a little bit. It's too far now. It's about a month. Right before opening night, we're going to, do all of those too, who we think is going to win that MVP, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But anyway, the feature game yesterday was between the Buffalo Bills and the LA Rams, right? And the Rams recently just actually won the Super Bowl. So it was a pretty big deal, right? And I'm sure everybody tuned in to see how the reigning champs were going to come out there and play. So as I was watching bit of the game, I didn't watch the entire game, to be honest with you guys. I caught bits and pieces of it. It was clear to see that the Buffalo Bills came out there ready to, make a statement, right? And you could see immediately why some people have them going to the Super Bowl, right? Stephen A. Smith has them going there. I forgot the other gentleman that has them there, but a lot of people are pretty high on the Buffalo Bills this season. And within the first few minutes of the game, you could immediately see why, right? They were able to score a touchdown, essentially within the first 5 minutes of the game, right? With the 10 minutes to go in the first quarter, they had already hung up 7 points on the board. And you could tell that the Buffalo Bills you could tell that they wanted to make a statement, right? They wanted to make a statement. And what better team to make a statement than against the reigning champs, right? If you can play really well against the champs, it's going to really, give you a good sense of how good you can be as a ball club. And for you to go out there and pretty much play on par with those guys, I think it was a good sign for them. That's number one. Number two, Josh Allen. Oh my gosh. Like as I said, I don't watch a lot of football, but I know great quarterback play when I see it. And Josh Allen was looking like a man amongst boys out there, man. He looked poised. He was making some fantastic reads. He didn't look rattled at all with that, with that Rams defense. And he was just hitting guys at the right spots. Now, obviously, he did have some interceptions throughout the game, but he looked pretty sharp, especially in that first half. And I think every time the Rams offense tried to get started, get their engine going, it seems like the Bills defense had an answer for them, right? It was either a blitz, it was either a sack or some type of interception. These guys were everywhere. And speaking of being everywhere, Von Miller, this dude looked omnipresent. He was everywhere. He was wreaking havoc all over that field. And you could tell that, their defense was, they came out and they were ready to play. Obviously, the Rams were able to respond towards the end of the first half. With about 3 minutes left to go, they were able to score a touchdown and tie the game going into the half with a touchdown from Cooper Kupp, which brings us to the second half of that game where things just totally fell apart for the Rams. But before we get into those notes, this video is brought to you by our sponsor, Aura, who's also the official sponsor of the T-Wolves. Do you know what the fastest growing crime in America is today? It's identity theft. Imagine trying to log into your email only to see that your password has been changed. Then you start getting weird notifications from your bank and credit cards only to find out that all of your personal and sensitive information has been totally compromised. If you think it can happen to you and your family, just know that in 2020, over 49 million Americans were victims to identity theft, costing them a combined $56 billion. That is why we are excited to partner with Aura, who's the sponsor of this video. Aura is the #1 identity theft and financial fraud protection. Aura monitors the dark web and alerts you if any of your passwords and accounts have been breached. And funny enough, after using Aura, I discovered some of my credentials were floating around in the dark web, and the app showed me exactly when and where the breach happened. In addition, Aura allows you to set spending alerts, and they'll notify you of any suspicious transactions. Aura is 4 times faster than any of its competitors in alerting you if someone is trying to open a credit card or obtain a loan using your name. And remember this, every 14 seconds, someone becomes a victim of identity fraud. Don't let it happen to you. Now click the link in the description and try Aura for free for 2 weeks and see if any of you or your family's personal information has been compromised. Start your free trial at aura.com/dreamerspro. And when you try Aura by using the link in the description below, also know that you're supporting this channel. Thank you. So in the second half, in the second half of the game, the Bills just totally seized control of that game, right? And and Josh Allen was just getting into his bag, man. I was listening to, I believe, who was it? I was listening to an NFL analyst on, was it on SportsCenter, and they were talking about the type of player that Josh Allen is. They're like, you know, he can throw the ball, but he's very big, like Cam Newton. You know, he can run the ball. He's very strong. He has all of these different attributes, like Mahomes and bigger guys, and like Cam Newton and others. And I think someone who's I listening to? It was Colin Cowherd, I believe it was him or somebody else. They were just comparing him, like, you know, this modern day type of quarterback. He's just this hybrid version of of the position. And there was one play he made where he was rushing and he was trying to run the ball. I think he was trying to get the first down, which he ultimately did. And for a dude that big to be moving that fast, and you have a defender coming at him, and he just hit him with a stiff arm, and I'm like, wait a minute here to get the first down as he went out of bounds. I was like, man, this is the guy that these guys are trying to stop. So he was, he was sensational. Josh Allen was sensational. He just went nuts in the second half. He finished the game with 297 yards with 3 touchdowns. Although he got intercepted twice. He even finished the game with 56 rushing yards, right, as the quarterback. That's one thing. Stephon Diggs also played really well for the Bills. He finished the game with 122 receiving yards. That was fantastic. And the Bills basically blew the champs off the floor in the fourth quarter. They hung 14 points on them. 14 points on the Rams in the fourth quarter, and basically told them, just pack your bags and get the hell out of this arena, man. Like, the game, the game is over. So for me, I thought that was a very, very impressive opening win, week 1 win for the Buffalo Bills. You can clearly see why a lot of people are pretty high on them this season. As I said, Stephen A. Smith has them going to the Super Bowl to go face the Buccaneers, Tom Brady's Buccaneers. And they had a masterful opening night game, man. It was fantastic, and that performance leads me to a number of questions that I want to leave the audience with. I'm sure there are a lot of people in the audience that know a lot more about the NFL, so I'll be really interested to hear what you guys are going to say, in the comment section with your feedback. Is really going to help this channel deeply when you guys start giving your feedback. So I have a few questions for you guys. The first question is this: do you think that the Rams are still coming off the high of winning the Super Bowl? Right. And do you think that they came into that game with the malaise? Maybe they're still sipping or tasting some of the champagne. Do you feel like they just weren't ready to play? Right. And they were just still kind of like, enjoying the moment that they had for winning the Super Bowl? That's the first thing. The second question is this: do you think the Buffalo Bills will be able to keep this up as the season progresses? I was listening to Keyshawn Johnson this morning with Max and Jay Williams, and he was like, I know a lot of people are going to get pretty hyped, but he was like, this is just one game. This is just one game. It is one game, right? And there's still many more weeks in the NFL calendar. So do you think that, the Bills, this is something that they can build off of, going into the season? Or do you think that, this is just a once, don't get too hype. You don't really believe that they're going to be able to keep it up? Whatever you guys think about that game, and also whatever you guys think about this analysis, please let us know in the comments section. Once again, this is Charles here from Dreamerspro. Wishing you guys an amazing day. Catch y'all on the next episode.